So after weeks of anticipation, Ellen DeGeneres has returned to The Ellen Show. And the show started off with a necessary apology to Ellen's fans and fellow employees. And I got the details about what Ellen said and what the reaction was right now on I.O. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Mackenzie Smith here, and today on the channel I'm going to be giving you the lowdown on Ellen's public apology. But before I get into it, make sure to like and subscribe below. Also check out our playlist right up there. So in the roughly 7-minute segment, Ellen addresses everything head on. She starts off with a quick joke about how a lot of the haters are going to be watching this monologue, saying, quote, "If you're watching because you love me, thank you. If you're watching because you don't love me, welcome." Then joking, "How was everybody's summer?" "Good, mine was great. Super terrific." Which we obviously know was a joke because of how much media traction this controversy gained over the summer. She then addresses the biggest concern that people have had about her, and that's the question of how she wouldn't know what goes on at her own show. Saying, quote, "As you might have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show, and then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened." She continued, "I take that very seriously, and I want to say I'm so sorry to the people who were affected. Quote, this is the Ellen DeGeneres show. I'm Ellen DeGeneres. My name is there, my name is there, my name is on underwear. We have had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter." Which is echoing very similar statements she made in a memo to her staff back in July. She then addresses the rumors that she's not who she says she is, and she's not the nice woman that we all know and love from TV, but actually a super mean person who is playing a character to the world. Saying the reason she became known as the Be Kind Lady was because a young man named Tyler Clementi took his own life after being bullied for being gay. Adding, after that horrible event, she knew that the world needed more kindness. Then joking that being the Be Kind Lady is a tricky position, and if anyone's thinking about it, she would recommend otherwise. Continuing, quote, "The truth is I am that person you see on the TV. I'm also a lot of other things. Sometimes I get sad, I get mad, I get anxious, I get frustrated, I get impatient." Admitting that even though she was an actress for years before becoming a host, she doesn't think she's a good enough actress to convince everyone that she was a completely different person for the last 17 years of the show. Finishing off the statement that she's so sorry to everyone she's let down, and she just wants to be the best person that she can be. Going on to comment on the torn and scary world that we're currently living in, saying that she hopes her show can be a beacon of light through all that, and be a place for people to escape and laugh for 1 hour a day. With the clip ending by Ellen announcing that her DJ Twitch is now a new co-executive producer for the show. Then joking he can no longer be her fake DJ anymore. So after this apology, there has been tons and tons of reactions online. Of course, it's Ellen. These are some of the reactions that were left on her video on YouTube. So one user said, "Even if our goal is to be kind to everyone, it's impossible to just be that every single day to everyone. We're only humans." Then another person showed support, saying, "Now that she's actually owning up to all her mistakes, I don't understand people who are still hating on her. But of course, there were a lot of detractors who didn't like what she said." One person saying, quote, "That's it? People are just gonna forget what she did to all those people? I'm done." Then another agreeing, saying she's only doing this because she got caught. But I will have to say that most of the comments did seem positive. That could be because it's early and right now it's her fans that are commenting and watching the video, or because comments are being deleted. You know, I have no idea. I even saw some people joking about how long it's gonna take for the comments to get turned off the video, so I guess we'll have to wait and see about that too. But like I said, most are positive right now, so we'll have to see kind of how nasty it gets over time. So what do you guys have to say about all this? I honestly thought it was a pretty good apology, and she did address most things that she needed to. I think because a lot of the main issues were with the producers in terms of like the show's environment, she spoke about what she could and will hopefully take more accountability for what happens, you know, behind the scenes of the show now. And I think we'll just kind of have to wait and see if she stays true to her word. The only thing is that I guess she could have went more in depth into what she actually did wrong and the actual steps that are going to be taken to improve the work environment now. Like, that would have been nice to see. But I think she did, you know, speak that she wants to grow and change. Honestly, the moment that really kind of won me over was when she said that she's been doing this for 17 years and saying that she doesn't think that she could have fooled us all for this long. Which, I mean, it is kind of a valid point, right? Like, we've seen this woman on TV for so long. Like, really, if she was this super two-faced person, surely we would have found out before now, right? That's just my thoughts. And even though we have talked about bad moments on the show, you know, on this channel, for the most part, she has been who we thought she was, right? However, one small thing was that she was wearing all white on top when she was doing the apology, which is a common tactic for apology videos to make the person seem, you know, more wholesome and genuine. So just a little tidbit for you guys there. So I'm sure, there was a wee bit of manipulation in the apology, but I still feel that, it was pretty solid. David Dobrik has finally responded to allegations against him and his vlog squad that have been mounting for months, and even in some cases, years. But fans are not happy, and the apology video is being criticized heavily online. His subscriber count has even dropped significantly since the apology video was released. Let's get into all the problems with his apology video and break down the whole situation. I'm Mackenzie, you're watching InformOverload, and subscribe if you're new here. On March 16th, David Dobrik uploaded his 2.5-minute apology video at midnight to his smallest YouTube channel, The Views channel, with 1.68 million subscribers as of now, which is nothing compared to the almost 19 million subscribers on his main channel. And if you didn't know about all the controversy surrounding David and the vlog squad before watching his video, then you definitely would not know why he's apologizing, as the video was incredibly vague. David titled the video, "Let's Talk," but was immediately hypocritical when he turned off comments on that video, as well as turned off the likes to dislikes ratio. All the tactics used here are to suppress the video from being seen, as well as suppress the thoughts of upset viewers. David starts off the video vaguely saying that he's going to be addressing some conversations that have been going on online. These conversations are allegations from former Vlog Squad members Seth Francois and Nick Hazwani, aka Big Nick. Seth was a part of a terrible prank and has accused David of committing SA in that prank, which is an acronym for the inappropriate conduct in that prank. Nick also spoke about the toxic culture in the group and how he was teased on and offline for his dwarfism. David's recent apology also came the day after Insider published a massive expose on serious allegations of sexual misconduct by David and the squad, but specifically Dirty Dom. In his video, Dobrik said, quote, "Consent is something that's super important to me. Whether I'm shooting with a friend or I'm shooting with a stranger, I make sure whatever video I'm putting out, I have the approval from that person." Then he goes on to address Seth specifically, who has been begging for an apology from David on this matter since mid-2020. Adding, quote, "With the Seth situation, I am sorry to Seth. I just want to make videos where everyone who is participating is enjoying and having a good time. I missed the mark with that one, and I am really sorry. I truly am." David then went on to say that he's decided to take down old videos himself that no longer represent him, as well as decided to distance himself from other people over the years who have disappointed him. Here he named Dom specifically, with David adding that he does not stand for any misconduct. Then on the topic of consent, David added that if people change their minds about a video later, he will take that video down. Finishing off the video saying the bad things in his past videos will not happen again, and he hopes to prove that to fans with his actions. So obviously this video is bad for many reasons. Firstly, he suppressed the video by putting it on his smallest channel, and he decided to address these serious allegations in only a 2.5-minute video, when there's a lot more problematic behavior in old videos that he didn't take the time to address. Also, the sheer fact that it took him so long to address these things is very upsetting to a lot of fans, especially since Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas have been speaking out against David for months on their podcast Frenemies. The release of the apology video was also timed very suspiciously. Uploaded the same day a shocking article was published by Insider revealing a story about a girl, who used the pseudonym Hannah, who was in one of Dobrik's vlogs back in 2018. To summarize the article, Hannah and her friends were in talks with Vlog Squad member Dominika Zaglatius, better known as Dirty Dom, and they were trying to arrange for Dom to have a 5-some with these girls for the vlog. However, when the girls arrived and did not want to sleep with Dom, David and the rest of the group allegedly pushed them to drink, to the point that Hannah ended up sleeping with Dom, but was too inebriated to legally consent. If you want more detail, I'd highly suggest you read that Insider article. Another shady move by David was the fact that one of the Vlog Squad's most beloved members, Scotty Sire, posted an entire video to his YouTube channel a few weeks ago defending David while trying to make Seth look like a liar, with people believing that Scotty's video was orchestrated by David. That video is now deleted. And to refresh you on Seth's allegations, there was one vlog uploaded in 2017 called "He Thought He Was Kissing Her," super cringy, where David made Seth think that he was going to be kissing Corinna Kopp, a girl that Seth was interested in. But it was revealed later that the person he was actually kissing was Jason Nash, a 47-year-old man at the time of this recording. So David duped him, and Seth didn't consent to kissing Jason. In the now deleted video, Scotty says that the prank was discussed 3 times overall, and Scotty actually shared a text message conversation between David and Seth, where Seth requested for the prank to happen a 3rd time. Scotty also alleged that Seth gave consent for the prank to happen a 2nd time that was not caught on video. All in all, the video did not prove that Seth consented the 1st time, and it got tons of backlash from Seth's supporters, which caused Scottie to later remove the video and address the backlash in his community tab. But the smoking gun in Scottie's video against David was that David must have recently recorded himself looking at his text messages with Seth and then sent those text messages to Scottie, so Scottie would be the one to address it, and David wouldn't have to. Because you could hear David's voice in the video where he's reading out the text messages with Seth. So clearly David and his friends have been discussing this amongst themselves, and David sent all of them his receipts. I think the last point to address here is where we go from here. I think in situations like this it's difficult to predict what could happen because YouTubers have received similar backlash in the past and have ended up coming back unscathed. However, the bigger issue here is the legality of it all. And for all we know, the woman in this insider article might be thinking of pressing legal charges against Dom and even David and the other people who were present the night of that incident. And for that matter, Seth could also be pursuing legal charges for all we know. David and his team generally avoid any backlash until it goes away, so they might be doing that again. And I think unless more comes out, this will probably be the last time that David himself addresses this. But like with anything in life, time will tell. However, since he uploaded that apology video, David has lost 100,000 subscribers on his main channel. So this could be the beginning of the end.
First and foremost, I want to apologize for how long this video has taken. There is no excuse, reason, or thing I could say to make that okay, and I want to take full accountability for that.
Tana Mongeau finally posted a long overdue apology to her channel. After 3 months of not posting anything, she's finally addressed and apologized for her past actions. And just like any other video apology ever posted to the internet, the video is being picked apart. This is everything wrong with Tana Mongeau's apology video right now on IO. What's gravy, y'all? This is InformOverload. I'm Charlotte. Subscribe for the spiciest trending news updates on YouTube and follow the IO team on social media. Alright, so people are saying that Tana Mongeau has just ended her career with an apology video she posted to her channel on Friday, September 4th. It wasn't just the video itself, it was like how long it took. It's been 4 months since her scandal. In June, Caitlin Berry called out Tana for how he was treated, alleging that Tana displayed racist microaggressions toward him, and also that she spread rumors about him behind his back. Caitlin came out on social media to accuse Tana of this, and that was a long time ago. At the time, she said that she would address it in an upcoming apology video. Simply Nessa also came out and exposed Tana for spreading rumors about her as well. Meanwhile, Tana said that she was going to make multiple videos about these accusations, apologizing, but she never really did until last Friday. But what she did do this whole 4 months is she partied, she went out with TikTok stars, she advertised her OnlyFans, and she dragged her ex Bella Thorne. Firstly, her apology video has 78,000 dislikes to 30,000 likes. She's also lost close to 30,000 subscribers since the video was uploaded on September 4th. So that gives you an idea of how much people hate it. I have to be honest, it was really hard to watch, man. Like, very. The first time I watched it, I couldn't even finish it. Then I had to rewatch it for the purposes of this video, and yeah, it was like 13 minutes, but it felt like a million years. I just wanted it to end so badly. Alright, so getting into the problems. Number 1, the jump cuts. I feel as though I've seen a ton of apologies over the last few years, or months really, and I've come to realize that there are things that you can do to make your apology seem more sincere. Number 1, be more sincere. Also, avoid too many jump cuts. Too many jump cuts is an indication that there is a script either being read or that she wants to cut certain things out. It doesn't really add to the flow of the video. Like, cuts can actually affect, you know, the flow of the video. They can make it quicker for comedy and stuff like that. But it seems so weird for a Tana video to have jump cuts because her videos are normally very raw. She seems so honest and real in every video that she does, which is one of the reasons why she was so popular, but this video is an exception. Jump cuts allow you to cut out certain things that could be used against you, things that you can't say legally. Who knows, maybe she showed an initial cut to her manager or lawyer and the lawyer told her to cut certain things out. And similarly, you can choose to leave in certain things like crying, which could be considered manipulative. Like Tati's video Breaking My Silence, she consciously left in 2 minutes of crying. If you're gonna cry in a video, don't cut. Honestly, I like live stream apologies for that reason. It's just, have some bullet points or something like that, but don't cut and don't cry unless there are no cuts. Number 2, the tone. My initial reaction to this apology video by Tana, which is why it was so hard to watch, was that she was very angry. Like, she was almost yelling at the camera. Why are you yelling at me, man? What did I do? She was rushing as well. It seemed like she was, you know, it was just like she wanted to get it over with as fast as possible. I'm not sure why, but as I was watching Tana's video, it kind of felt like I was watching Jaclyn Hill's lipstick apology video all over again. This person speaking in that video wasn't Tana. I didn't really feel like she was actually sorry. And maybe she wasn't. And maybe that would have been a whole other story there. Maybe there's more to the story and she isn't sorry. But she should have said that and not apologized for something she didn't mean. Number 3, Tana also apologized for every single other apology video she's ever made. Which is like, wait a second. Are we not supposed to accept those apologies now? She added that this would be her last apology video that she would ever make. There were other criticisms for the video, like Tana's vocabulary, which people said was too smart for her. I don't agree with that, man. Let's not assume that people are too stupid to use certain words. Just because someone uses big words for the first time on camera, that doesn't mean that those aren't her words. Maybe she's just trying to sound as professional as possible and just get to the point. She probably is a lot smarter than most people give her credit for, but you know, she's playing up the dumb blonde thing. Anyways, that's my opinion about it. Don't tell someone that she's too dumb to use certain words, because I mean, that's just dumb in my opinion. Here were some responses to Tana's apology on Twitter. At this point, if you still stand Tana Mongeau, what are you doing? Has anyone watched Tana Mongeau's apology video? The amount of cuts in the video have me dead. She couldn't even remember her own script. Next, 3 seconds into Tana Mongeau's apology video and I already checked off one of the bingo board. Excuse me, but who wrote Tana Mongeau's apology video? Because she sure didn't. It was all buzzwords and pandering word vomit. The entire thing sounded so disingenuous and disconnected to her true feelings. It's what she thinks people want to hear. I don't buy it at all. But of course, the apology Tana made was not supposed to be directed at the internet. It was supposed to be directed at 2 people, Nessa and Kaylin. 2 influencers Tana worked with who alleged that they experienced microaggressions and she was shitty to them. Here's what they had to say. That video was bull. It took you 3 months to give us bull. This was so clearly scripted. Was someone holding up cards? Tana Mongeau, as you told me before, I'm super disappointed in your post. And of course, Tana Mongeau, why did you delete mine and Nessa's comments from your video? Because you don't want your audience to see we don't forgive that BS apology. Most news and commentary channels agree that Tana's apology was really bad, like one of the worst apologies ever, and that is saying a lot. Like, we got Laura Lee up there, it makes Laura Lee's apology look good. Some said that Tana's career is over because of this apology. Tana Mongeau went on Instagram stories to respond to the hate she got on her video, saying that it was her words and no one else wrote the script for her, and she sounded robotic because she was trying not to cry. She also responded on Twitter to Keemstar's criticism and said, "This is actually such amazing advice and you're 100% right. The way I'm talking in the video is nothing like the way I talk in my regular life. I was just scared of sounding upset or emotional or crying, so I cut all of that out. I don't want people to think I was being emotional or sad for attention. I am sad. I was sad off camera over it every single day. I just wanted to get straight to the facts. But you definitely make a lot of valid points, which is why I said in my video I will be making a follow-up video responding to what people have to say." I'm beginning to think that there is actually no right way for an influencer or celebrity to apologize. First of all, don't do anything that warrants an apology in the first place. I feel like that's rule number 1. And any way you do it, I feel like most people are gonna have a problem with it. I do feel though that there was another way for Tana to apologize. It just felt very rushed to me. The jump cuts were not ideal. I appreciate that she didn't cry. I wouldn't have hated it if she did cry, you know, as long as she didn't, you know, consciously cut it. And at the same time, the tone, it was very rushed and very angry, and it didn't seem like Tana for some reason. In a new video posted to his channel called Doing What Is Right, Jeffree Star apologizes to James Charles, he sticks up for Shane Dawson, and he denies he did anything illegal or has done anything illegal. Then he turned the comments off. I'm gonna fill you in on this apology and the response to the apology right now on IO. What's gravy fam? This is IO, I'm Charlotte. Like, subscribe, follow, potato. Let's get into the tea. Alright, so after several weeks of silence, well, sort of silence, Jeffree Star has finally posted a response to Tati Westbrook, James Charles, and Shane Dawson. So first I'm going to summarize the video. I'm not going to share my opinion or analysis until the end, and I really don't want you guys to be like swayed by my opinion if you want to support Jeffree, or if you don't want to hear my opinion, that will be at the end of the video. Jeffree did a few things in this video. He explained why he's been silent for so long, and the reason for that is he claims that he wanted time to reflect and take time off the internet without jumping to conclusions or saying things without thinking. He actually doesn't mention Tati Westbrook by name. name in this video. He apologized to James Charles without actually saying what he's apologizing for. He said that he is the problem, and he also says that he is still friends with Shane Dawson despite the fact that he disagrees with what Shane has done. Jeffree also said that he doesn't want to be involved in the drama, but he is still speaking to his lawyers and looking at options. He also says that he's never blackmailed anyone, committed a crime, or been to jail, but that last admission is either a lie or he lied about being in jail, because there's an old video of him during his MySpace days saying that he had been to jail 3 times for assault. So he either lied in that interview or he's lying now. Either way, he's a liar.
Has it gotten to that point yet? Besides the mom?
I've been in jail 3 times for assault, just so everyone knows.
So, getting to my opinion on the matter, I feel like it's become a bit of a trend not to accept influencers' apologies on the internet. Like, when people apologize, it almost makes the situation worse. I do believe that if you apologize and take accountability and you make consistent change over the course of a long period of time, everyone deserves to be forgiven. Everybody, even Jeffree Star. I mean, look at PewDiePie. The guy really messed up. He got penalized by YouTube, he lost a lot of opportunities, the audience hated him for a while, but he apologized sincerely, he consistently showed growth, and then a couple of years later he hit 100 million subscribers, and there was like this worldwide campaign to get people to subscribe to him. But there are a few important things to note about Jeffree Star's apology that you guys should be aware of. So Jeffree claims that he's been self-reflecting over the last few weeks and he's been off the internet, which, if you have been watching this channel or keeping up with this, is untrue. He has been on social media, he's been liking photos, he's partying with Black China, he's hanging out with Oscar Wilde, he launched lip liners, and he was in a YouTube video buying a new car. To me, it's like he made this video because it was a good business move. He launched products, the products probably didn't sell in the way he thought they would, people weren't as supportive as he thought they would be, and then he comes out with a video apologizing, but without actually saying what he's apologizing for. He also waited as long as he did because he has a team of people working on this, lawyers, a PR team. He can't go on the internet and speak his mind or his heart because Tati has lawyers involved, he has lawyers involved, this might go to court, so everything he's saying is calculated and it's likely that he has a script, cue cards, something. One of the 2 things that really left a sour taste in people's mouths is he used this opportunity to plug a new Jeffree Star Cosmetics product. Everyone who has been keeping up with this drama watched his video, so everyone would have then heard that little advertisement. So he totally monetized this for himself. But then he used the video to shout out Black Lives Matter and Breonna Taylor, which I normally would have agreed with. It is a thing for people to use their viral tweets and videos, etc. to plug the movement, but for some reason, based on the entire video, it just felt really manipulative. He made people feel bad for caring about his indiscretions and instead said that there are bigger problems in the world, but I mean, that doesn't really excuse his behavior, you know? He messed up a lot of people's lives, and just because, yeah, there are bigger problems going on in the world, it doesn't make his injustices invalid, and it doesn't mean that he shouldn't be held accountable. He also didn't tell his audience where to donate money, where to sign petitions for Breonna Taylor, for example, and he also could have used this opportunity to say that he was donating the money made from that video to Black Lives Matter or the Breonna Taylor Memorial Fund. Just a few suggestions from a lady who's been covering sensitive topics for years, and I know exactly how these things go. But anyways guys, I digress. I mean, at the end of the day, he apologized and he's lost a lot of business over this. He's lost thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers since the video was posted. Did you see the apology? What did you think of it? Why don't you let me know in the comments?
Chrissy Teigen has returned to social media to apologize for her past hateful tweets that she sent to Kourtney Stodden. The former model is claiming that she was simply a troll and that now she is dealing with a crushing weight of regret. I'm gonna get into all those details in just a moment, but first, if you could do us a big favor, please tap that like button, we'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin. As I mentioned, Chrissy Teigen has broken her silence recently after being accused of bullying a then teenager on Twitter back in 2011. In a post on the blog site Medium, Chrissy left a lengthy apology that began with, "Hi all, it has been a very humbling few weeks. I know I've been quiet and Lord knows you don't want to hear about me, but I want you to know I've been sitting in a hole of deserved global punishment, the ultimate sit here and think about what you've done. Not a day, not a single moment has passed where I haven't felt the crushing weight of regret for the things I've said in the past." She then goes on to say, "As you know, a bunch of my old awful tweets resurfaced. I'm truly ashamed of them. As I look at them and understand the hurt they caused, I have to stop and wonder, how could I have done that?" For those of you who don't know, back in May, media personality Kourtney Stodden, who uses they them pronouns, called out Teigen for bullying them on Twitter. While speaking with the Daily Beast, Kourtney told the news outlet, "She wouldn't just publicly tweet about wanting me to take a dirt nap, but would privately DM me and tell me to kill myself. Things like, I can't wait for you to die." Kourtney, who is now 26 years old, first hit the media spotlight spotlight after marrying 50-year-old actor Doug Hutchinson when they were just 16 years old. However, I must also add that the couple recently divorced in 2020. And again, according to Chrissy herself, it's not just Kourtney that she owes an apology to. She then goes on to say in her apology letter, "I've apologized publicly to one person, but there are others and more than just a few who I need to say I'm sorry to. I'm in the process of privately reaching out to the people I insulted. It's like my own version of that show, My Name is Earl. I understand that they may not want to speak to me. I don't think I'd like to speak to me. The real truth in all of this is how much I actually cannot take confrontation, but if they do, I am here and I will listen to what they have to say while apologizing through sobs." Adding, "There's simply no excuse for my past horrible tweets. My targets didn't deserve them, no one does. Many of them needed empathy, kindness, understanding, and support, not my meanness masquerading as a kind of casual, edgy humor. I was a troll, full stop, and I am so sorry." Little weird that she refers to her victims as targets, but okay, to each their own, I guess. Chrissy Teigen's Twitter popularity really began to grow over the last 4 years because she was so outspoken about former US President Donald Trump. However, in March, she decided to briefly delete her Twitter account after saying that it no longer serves a positive purpose in her life. Although just a month later, she was back on the platform and back to sending out her usual tweets. Upon returning, she tweeted, "Turns out it feels terrible to silence yourself and also no longer enjoy belly chuckles randomly throughout the day and also lose like 2,000 friends at once." Adding, "I choose to take the bad with the good." In her apology, Chrissy also noted that when she started using social media, she had a lot of fun with it and that she believed she could simply use it to tell jokes, make random observations, and snark at the occasional celebrity. However, when you're not happy with yourself, it becomes much more difficult to navigate the murky waters of social media. Chrissy Teigen then goes on to say, "In reality, I was insecure, immature, and in a whole world where I thought I needed to impress strangers to be accepted. If there was a pop culture pile-on, I took to Twitter to try to gain attention and show off what I at the time believed was a crude, clever, harmless quip. I thought it made me cool and relatable if I poked fun at celebrities." Chrissy then goes on to say that now, since being confronted with some of the things that she has said, she cringes to her core. She now realizes that words have consequences and that there are real people behind the Twitter handles that she went after. She admits that she wasn't just attacking some random avatar, but rather hurting young women. She then closes off her letter by saying, "I won't ask for your forgiveness, only your patience and tolerance. I ask that you allow me, as I promised to allow you, to own past mistakes and be given the opportunity to seek self-improvement and change." And for those of you who want to read the full apology letter, I will be sure to put a link for you down in the description below. Now, on the flip side of all of this, Kourtney Star posted an image on Instagram alleging that Chrissy Teigen had blocked them. They captioned the photo with, "I accept her apology and forgive her, but the truth remains the same. I have never heard from her or her camp in private. In fact, she blocked me on Twitter. All of me wants to believe this is a sincere apology, but it feels like a public attempt to save her partnerships with Target and other brands who are realizing her wokeness is a broken record." You see, just when you start feeling like someone has made amends, there can always be an ulterior motive. That being said, Chrissy did say in her letter, "I'm telling you this for context, not seeking or deserving any sympathy. There's no justification for my behavior. I'm not a victim here. The subjects of your sympathy and mine should be those I put down." Adding, "The truth is, I'm no longer the person who wrote those horrible things. I grew up, got therapy, got married, had kids, got more therapy, experienced loss and pain, got more therapy and experienced more life, and got more therapy." After Kim Kardashian got lit up on the internet for saying that no one wants to work nowadays, she has finally addressed the controversy to clarify what she meant. When discussing the Kardashians' family move to Hulu for the continuation of their show, the sisters said that they never actually enter negotiations. They usually just leave it up to Kris Jenner, who according to Khloe fights like a pit bull, a go-get-em attitude that has clearly rubbed off on her kids. When talking about advice for women in business, here's what got Kim into trouble. During the Variety interview, she said, "I have the best advice for women in business. Get your effing butt up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days." She continued by saying that her whole family works hard and that she doesn't care about people who think they are famous just for being famous, which is the real reason she was so adamant that in order to succeed, you needed to work hard. Kim did initially become famous for just being famous. Sure, people might have come to know her over the years for her various products, but for the most part, it was because they had a really popular reality TV show about their lives. I think by saying this, she is more so saying it to remind herself or perhaps further cement in her own mind that she did in fact work hard to get what she has today. Although, like actress Jamila Jamil pointed out, if you grow up rich, it does make going after your dreams a lot easier. Jamila posted her take on Kim's statement on Instagram and said, "I think if you grew up in Beverly Hills with super successful parents in what was simply a smaller mansion, nobody needs to hear your thoughts on success/work ethic. This same 24 hours in the day-ish is a nightmare. 99.9% of the world grew up with a very different 24 hours. And then in her caption, she really told her followers how she felt about the Kardashian family giving out advice. In her caption of the same post, Jamila writes, "They are a super impressive family of businesswomen
women and are products of a ridiculously good start and a genius manager in their mother, as well as their own hard work and personal sacrifices, plus a lot of Photoshop and a decision to not care about misleading people about their beauty claims, whilst never disclosing how much secret work goes into their appearances that they make most of their money from, and a huge amount of money made from questionable diet/detox products and corsets. They shouldn't be asked about their secret to success. They shouldn't answer those questions. It's all obvious to everyone, and I hope nobody holds themselves to the standards of people who were raised by millionaires. Just take the money, use it for good, and chill the F out when lecturing others about grind and hustle, and learn how to brag without putting others down who have less. And Kim Kardashian's statement was even recently made fun of at the 94th Annual Academy Awards, and so we're assuming that's why she decided to finally address it. During a sit-down interview with Good Morning America, she told Robin Roberts, "Well, that statement that I said was without questions and conversation around it. It became a soundbite really with no context. And that soundbite I came off the notion and the question right before which was after 20 years of being in the business, you're famous for being famous. And my whole tone and attitude changed with the previous question that went into that question about what advice would you give to women." She then went on to share the actual advice that she meant to give during this interview gone wrong. Kim goes on to say, "The advice that I would give is just that having a social media presence and being on a reality show does not mean overnight success, and you have to really work hard to get there, even if it might seem like it's easy and that you can build a really successful business off of social media. And you can, if you put in a lot of really hard work." She also explained that she never intended to put women down with her original comments, adding that it wasn't a blanket statement made towards women or to feel like she doesn't respect the work or think that they don't work hard.
The internet has been taken over with people talking about Will Smith's apology that he posted to YouTube in response to the altercation that took place between him and Chris Rock during the Oscars ceremony, months after the event happened. This may have come in response to Chris Rock himself speaking up about it at his comedy shows over the last few weeks. While some people didn't care about the apology and some thought that it was a sincere display, the majority of people seem to think that this was a fabricated and hollow video that was just an actor acting. Many people criticized the production value of the video and how Will doesn't seem to say anything new of value, and how it's all just too little too late. So let's take a look at what people had to say and how this video seems to just be Will digging himself an even deeper hole. Many people were confused by Will Smith's silence surrounding the situation for months, him simply saying that he was going to be taking time to work on himself and was apparently spending time with his family and going on vacation. Many people were waiting in their seats for an apology that they felt needed to come. Well, many finally thought that they were going to be satisfied when Will Smith posted the video titled "It's Been a Minute" to his YouTube channel, the runtime being about 6 minutes long and the caption saying, "Thanks y'all." But when people watched it, most people thought it was a horribly botched attempt at an apology. Many people said that there was no issue with what he said, but instead the style of which he said it and how the video was portrayed. One outlet describing it as a hostage video. The way that the text has to introduce the video instead of Will himself makes it feel like Will himself can't really take the responsibility to fully own the video, relying on words written by his PR team instead. People say that the video seems like Will Smith just wanting to get it over with and out of the way, potentially trying to just get people to move on from the situation now that he's said his piece. Due to the high production value, it doesn't feel personal. It makes it feel scripted and too thought out, which takes away any sincerity from the piece, making it look like he was just trying to save his reputation. Many people online chose to compare this to the typical YouTuber apology because Will Smith of course uploaded it to YouTube. A YouTuber apology is typically categorized by it being insincere, rushed, and not saying much at all. So I of course was reminded of probably the most infamous apology video ever, Logan Paul's "So Sorry," and I decided to draw some comparisons between the two and try to break down what makes an apology video a bad apology video. Logan Paul was apologizing for filming and posting a dead body to his channel, and the video was a minute and a half long, coming a bit after the fact. Well, of course these two scenarios are pretty different, it's the apology that we're looking at. The main thing I noticed was how short these videos are. While Will Smith's is longer, it still doesn't even break 6 minutes and he only answers a few questions. Logan's also being a short, just few minutes apology. This gives the feel that they have planned out what they are going to say for a long time, cutting down anything they feel might affect their image more. Another thing is how the people in the videos always try harder to make it look raw and real. Logan Paul not cutting out his hand, turning on the camera, and Will Smith entering from off stage before sitting down, trying to make it look less produced and scripted, but instead having the opposite effect and making it feel even more so. They also both seem to offer no real explanation for why they did what they did, Will Smith saying he just felt fogged out and couldn't explain it, and Logan Paul saying he just shouldn't have done it and describing what he should have done in that situation, but I just didn't. Both videos give the vibe of just trying to redeem themselves and put an end to the situation and backlash. We know that when Logan Paul's video came out, it led to him receiving even more ridicule and made him look even worse to the public, leaving a massive stain on his career for a very long time. It looks like the same is happening to Will Smith, as he is receiving the disdain of the internet, and only a few people online seem to think he has redeemed himself.